Today we're going to make a dice, a nice simple dice. As always, we've got to click on and get rid of that bloke. Go to I and make sure we've got our fractions of a millimetre. It's not going to make much difference today, but we always do that because it makes it easier to draw for our printer. I'm going to zoom in a touch. My dice is going to be 2 centimetres by 2 centimetres. So let's go and make a 20 millimetre line. Let's go up on the green axis, 20 millimeters, cross the road again. I'm just typing the number 20 and pressing enter, and then I can just connect those two together like so. I've now got a 20 millimeter rectangle. So just a reminder, when I draw a line, I start drawing the line. This is on the red axis. If I type 20, you'll see here the length. So I'm at length 30, but if I just type over 20 and press enter, I get a 20 centimeter line. Control Z, my best friend, undo. Right, I'm going to go to the push pull tool, and then I'm going to push up, and then again I was going to type in 20. Now I've got a perfect cube. I'm using my middle mouse wheel to look around. Right, the first thing I'm going to think about making this dice is I've got to put the dots on. Now I'm going to recess the dots, so I'm going to let them go into dice. I'm going to start with the 6 dots because that's the most, and then that'll help me with my alignment a touch as well. So I need to get 6 dots on this dice here. So I'm going to use the midpoint, using the pencil, midpoint to midpoint. There's the middle of my dice. If I then take the midpoint of that line and then the midpoint here, I've got evenly spaced. I'm going to go midpoint to midpoint again, midpoint to midpoint, midpoint to midpoint, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points I can put a nice circle on. So I'm going to go to the circle. If you can't find the circle, remember to click the 3 dots. Take the circle and do a 1 millimeter circle, 1 millimeter circle. And again, that's just me starting to draw a circle and pressing 1 to override. And again, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter. Now I get the rubber. I'm going to zoom in with the mouse wheel, and I'm just going to take out the lines I don't need. I'm just going to start with the big lines first. Now remember, if you miss, Control Z undoes. If I spend ages doing this and then I miss, Control Z, it means it's got to rub it all out again. So just do it in little chunks, and there's less distance to fall if you make a mess. There we go. Right, so I've got my 6 dots. I'm going to recess those dots now with the push-pull tool. Now with this, I'm just going to pull. I'm going to press 1 millimeter and enter. Pull, 1, enter. Pull, ooh, come on, pull, pull, 1, enter. Sometimes you just have to click it a bit harder. These are the jokes, folks. So I've got 6 dots on my dice there. Looking all right. Maybe the alignment's a bit, but let's face it, it's a practice, so let's not worry too much. But I could maybe draw those in a little bit closer. Right, opposite sides of a dice add up to 7, so I've got to go and put 1 on the other side of that. 1's going to be easy because I'm just going to go midpoint to midpoint, midpoint to midpoint. There's the middle of my shape, and I'm going to make a 1 millimeter circle, and then I'm going to go wee with the rubber, and in the middle there, get my push pull tool, and 1 millimeter depth. Right, now we can pick another side. So let's go with 4 and 3, which is 7. So I'm going to find the midpoint again. Midpoint again. This time I only need 4 points, but I'm still going to have to do this dividing to make them equally spaced. And we've got, oh, that's not the circle tool. Circle tool, 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 1mm, 1mm. Take the rubber and remove as before. Don't forget you can zoom in, makes it a bit easier to find parts. And again, wherever you put the mouse pointer is where it will zoom to. So if I zoom out and then put it there, zoom in that way, you'll go in there. Right, middle click of the mouse button to rotate, and 1mm, 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 1mm. Right, opposite side of the dice, we need 3, and 3 is going to go across on an angle. So let's draw our grid again. Put the grid on, midpoint to midpoint. It's just good practice, this, isn't it? Just taking your time, being accurate. 2 more lines on. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 down there. Get my circle. 1mm, 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 and then, oh, I'm getting brave, don't miss, zoom in, bye bye to them, and then zoom out, zoom in, and to them, zoom out. Rotate a touch with the middle wheel, and where's my push pull? There you are. Push pull, 1mm, 1mm, 1mm. Right, we've got our final sides. So we've got a 4 and a 3. We need a 5 and a 2. So let's get our pencil. We know the drill by now. Maybe you can try pausing, finish these 2 sides yourself, and then watch it back and see if you did it right. Sure you did. I'd also like to point out I am no architect. I have just taught myself to use this. Obviously, being a teacher, I just do this in a way that I know a class is going to get, because teaching yourself to draw is a lot different than teaching 25 plus children or young people at the same time. So let's have a go at rubbing out the lines again. There we go, that one there. Zoom in, goodbye to them, goodbye to them, goodbye to them. See, so if you get right in the middle, just one click will get rid of all of it, or say, or just a bit of a drag, it'll do the same thing. Rotate, push pull, 1mm, 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 1mm. Oh, it's quite therapeutic, this really, isn't it? Right, and now I just need the 2 on the dice. Now 2 is, again, it's angled, isn't it, the 2? So let's draw our grid on again. Really, we could just draw a line like that this time, because 2 is just, oh, that's not there, escape in the midpoint to there. So I'm just going to use those 2 points this time rather than draw the whole grid, showing a bit of laziness. 1mm, 1mm, and then rub out. Less to rub out this time. That's that one. There we go. And inside the circle. And finally, we 1mm, 1mm. Right. Couple of checks we need to do, and that is, I'm just going to go back to the arrow to do so. Right click, hide. Just going to look inside and check everything is okay. There's no additional lines. There isn't. Onto the glasses, unhide all, and I have got a dice. All I need to do now is print out my dice, and how we do that is it's saving automatically for me. We hit save. We click on the burger and open the menu. Go to download and STL. The STL goes in, and then I'm going to send that to my slicer and stick it on the printer. Next video is slicing and printing out.